New package has arrived, so I've been sponsored by PCBWay. Yeah, check it out. And as usual, it's a lot smaller than it looks in the images. So I really like it. So it's actually 3 boards, and yeah, look at that silvery disc. This is the back side. This is the front side. And this is the where you put the Raspberry Pi. So you can use 1, 2 or 3 I think, and then 0, but not 4 yet. Really great tool to get these boards from PCBWay. Now it's the 70th anniversary. Yeah, so let's open and see what we've got. Yeah, look at that. Really cool. This is made by Tor Erik, I think. Tebble. His GitHub page. Yeah, so just get some parts for this. I also need a display, so which is a small display we can get with OLED. Get them all out of the box here. I bought a Raspberry Pi 3, and for some reason this has been sent in toilet paper. And I also paid a new price for it, even though it was used. Here are all the parts. I also put the OLED display out here. It already has a connector, so we'll look at that later. Here are the connectors. It's actually a bit hard to get connectors at this point, at least any cheap connector. So I found the cheapest option was to buy 2 times 20 pins. Hey guys, just a little short message. There's a war going on, and it is affecting me deeply, and I'm sure it affects many of you who are thinking about the poor souls that are trapped in between these governments. And just want to say there's no place for evil in darkness, so let's just talk about it. And in this video I haven't used any music, because I was thinking maybe we have a little bit of silence in the clips that where I'm not talking, so we can think about the poor souls. So, and lately it has been even worse, I think, with in Mariupol in Ukraine, where 350,000 persons are without power, water and food for 1 week now. There are support groups you can donate to also, so I will leave some link in the description. Well, so it says ground here, and on this A, the fruit, actually, level shifter, we have ground down here, so it's not a match. Here you can see it says high volt and it says low volt. Low volt supply, high volt supply. So look at the level shifter you can buy on eBay. You can see that it has the ground and low voltage, ground and high voltage here. So alright, so I mounted it on an offset. What's left is A1 and A2, which are going over here and here. Alright, so I developed a small technique. So basically what I did, first I just pre-bent tip a little bit, which is this one. Press it in, press it up, and then back again, and I keep doing that. Look, it's going where it's supposed to, and then suddenly it will go into the hole there, and there. I'll just leave it like this, and then I will solder it. Oh, I didn't actually see what I was doing, so. Right, so it's a bit hard to route this one from here and then under here. I think this one is the shortest. Yeah, also before I forget, I also connected the probes to check continuity between the two grounds here, and they are continuous. There you go, we have little standoffs going on here. They go in here, such that when you mount it, they're supposed to be flush. Alright, so it's the next day, and let's have a look what we have done so far. We have put on the i2 level shifter from Adafruit, so don't buy the Adafruit one for this because it has the wrong pinout. As you can see, I had to do some modification here. Next thing, we put some headers and the 7406 chip, some DIN connectors here, and then the power jack, some LEDs, and a lovely right angle buttons. Yeah, so there are some instructions here. There's a selection between 5 or 6. So 5 is for installing the screen in here. And to install a screen, you need to select where is ground and VCC by selecting jumper 1 and jumper 2. In my case, I'm going to for option 6, which is basically saying if installing a faceplate, adjust C4, which is up here. Connector according to height requirements with standoffs installed. So yeah, so I have to look into what kind of connector that is. If maybe this is the one. And after that, you are installing any remaining components, and then you visit a website for firmware, the firebaseapp.com. Adjust configuration for type B design. If you bought this board, please ask seller to ensure that they have supported its development. But you can see there are jumpers there, so we have to select those instead of the ones that we selected on this board. Alright, so I found the component. So here it is, just a 4-legged female header, so this is supposed to go in here. Yeah, so we're going to look at these spacers, 3 by 6 millimeter. So we have 3 for this project, 3 by 6 millimeter, 3 by 10, and then 3 by 15. So that means 3 millimeter thread size, and then 15 here though. So where do they go? Between the top plate and the middle plate, or the face plate and the middle plate. You use the biggest ones, and the medium ones you use on the Raspberry Pi, and the smallest ones you use on the underside. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take the smallest ones and the largest ones and connect them together. So we need 4 of those, and then we need 4 of the large ones. So what we do now, we take a small one and a big one, and then we're just gonna connect them together. This I think will be just perfect. There you go. So there you have them connected together. So the top plate comes on top of that. Just put it on top here. It's a bit wobbly, but I think it will be kind of straight if you tighten it up. Already here you can see these pins are way too long, so after all that fiddling I ended up cutting the end of the connector. There. You can see I have cut them, they're not even length anymore. Like this, and then we just screw it tight. Yeah, so here we have the back plate. This is basically just for decoration. They're not supposed to be able to touch any electrical stuff here, so you put this one on. It has 2 sides. It looks like a folded disc material thing here. Then you have this side. I think I will have this one on the outer face. You have the notches there, meeting each other. There you go. Now you can see there's clearance in there, so that's good. This will be the end result. Ta-da! You have the buttons and everything. Then you have this lovely display on the front. Well, I have connected together. I used 2 washers there, as you can see, just to protect the table. And then we have this barrel connector here, which I don't have a connector for, so I just connected the old micro USB type. So yes, the Raspberry Pi is in, the light is lighting up, but we don't have any software on it yet. So the the screen didn't work, so I'm just gonna try it here. And when I plug power now, I've inserted all the files needed. It starts to light up and ta-da! It's so fast, so it's cool. So if you press a few buttons here, you have up and down and select. So let's try that. We can try Astro's Chase. Yes. But the display wasn't working, so I need to figure out why that is. Oh, this is botched, but I also inserted another one, and it was also not working, so alright. Yeah, after some fiddling I found out I needed these settings, and especially these 2. They're important because there are 2 versions, A and B. And then 60 and Busmaster 1. Just testing it directly on the Pi because it wasn't working. Few days later, and I'm about to test it. Okay, here goes. Nothing. There you go. Cool. So can you see that? Oh, it didn't start. I need to figure out what's going on, but it's a good sign there's a display here at the beginning. So, all right. there it is. So I just needed to turn on the machine. So there you go. So here you can see. There. Load. Comma 8. Searching. I hope this works. Nothing happens. That was what I was afraid of. So I need to figure out why it doesn't load. So I brought out a more dedicated power supply for this, and it seems to be loading if I choose the standard kernel. So if I load run now. Yeah, so this is Astro Chase. It seems to be working, so but if I choose something else like this, and then power cycles, well, for some reason the display changes, so maybe that's normal. So let's go to Astro Chase. There you go. Try to load this. I have not found error. I tried all different kinds of firmwares without any luck. So, but I've been able to load Astro Chase without any fast loaders. But with fast loaders, it's not possible. So I found out that the Raspberry Pi that I have is a 3B guy on Twitter. I know, a 48K RAM. He says that he had to switch to 3B plus. So, and then I saw on Forum 64 that someone had overclocked it to 1300 megahertz. So I tried that, but I didn't get any more luck. So not sure what to do from here on. Right, so I've been probing the Raspberry Pi 3B 1.2, and I'm probing the data signal. So the green one is the one coming out of the Raspberry Pi, and the yellow one is the one from the level shifter. So I wanted to see if the signals look okay, and they do. So, and the reason why I have one on the output of the Raspberry Pi is because then I can see who's sending, because if I just connect to the data line, they are both sender and the receiver are sending on the same one, so it's not so easy to see who's sending. So, and I just realized I don't think I will go into a very detailed debugging here, because I don't think I'm going to find it. So, and but I wanted to see if the signals look okay. But one thing we can see here is that in activity, or when nobody is holding the line is high. However, since the Raspberry Pi sits behind an inverter, low is inactive here. So what we can see is that we have inactivity, and then the Raspberry Pi is driving the line, and we can also see the data line is actually going low because of the inverter. So that's good. It's nice and sharp. So it sends 8 bytes, and then when it's finished, you see the line is inactive, and here you can see it goes low again. But you can see something different this time. The green one isn't high this time when this one goes low. So yeah, so I was looking at page tables to describe the bus. So when the receiver has to receive the byte here, it holds the line low to indicate that it is busy. So, and then it releases it, and then the sender can send more data here. So in the beginning you see there's a lot of same pulses going, but then after a while you can see there's more random data. So this is just a directory listing. So, and once I turn on this fast loader, it doesn't work anymore, so alright. Now let's switch the computer over to red. So I can select here if I want to, or I can just load the FP64, select the Astro Chase, and then we just do the load star, comma 8, comma 1, and then I guess we wait. I'm happy with that so far, and we'll try another Raspberry Pi or see if we can find some information about this. Maybe reach out to the forums, Lemon64, because there's a thread there. I will come to page 100 on that thread, and it's 160 pages, so it will take a bit of time to go through it. Yeah, really cool work by Stephen White. I really love all the effort he has put into this. So yeah, also really big thanks to TEBL for making this. It's really cool. So I can show you the other side. Kind of looks like a floppy drive, and it's not as big as it looks. Look at my hand. So it's about the size of a 3.5 inch diskette. So really nice. Just figure out it was working all along. So I just saw a message by Steve White, and that let's say when I turn on the machine, I can show you what I mean. So now it's in Exos, and when the display looks like this, it's in browse mode. It's like ST2 IAC, and it's not in emulation mode. Therefore, the fast loader doesn't work. Not sure why this happens, but anyway, like this, and then load. See how fast it is. Actually, you can just stand there and wait for it, because it's only a few seconds like this, and then look, this is working. So it's been working all the time. It's just that I didn't understand it has to be in emulation mode. So, but I figure out a couple of things on the way. Use a proper power supply. I don't think I can get it to work with this one, which is my trusty USB power supply. Doesn't work so well. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. This firmware also has something called well, I don't know what it's called, but if you select a program, it will make a disk on the fly. So let's see. There you go, there's the program. So now we can actually run demos and stuff like that, so that's really cool. Just gonna reset it. And now that I reset it, it will also reset the this one. Or get out to the menu. Now I'm into emulation again. Let's try this again. I just want to see that it works more than once. Yeah, cool. Now we're all good.